I recently upgraded my Mac to the new operating system, Catalina, and have had issues waking it back up after it goes to sleep. This inevitably causes me to have to reboot it to wake it back up to life. This got me thinking about life in general and how from time to time we crave a reboot. We may be tired and in need of something new, or perhaps we were tossed out into the wild by something outside of our control. Either one of these leads us to the same circumstance. We need to start fresh, or else risk falling into the negative abyss of dissatisfaction and stunted growth. We may need a reboot for several different reasons. Perhaps we've slid down that path with eating that is not healthy for us. One treat day turns into two, and before we know it, we've flip-flopped our habits from eating 80% good to eating 80% bad. Our clothes no longer fit. Our energy has dropped. Our mood has turned irritable to the point where we don't even like being around ourselves anymore. Or maybe the circumstance is that we've burned ourselves out at work. Maybe you've put in more hours than ever before, leaving little wiggle time in your schedule. And before long, motivation wanes and you just want to stick your head under a blanket and sleep for the next century. You can't imagine ever wanting to open up that project again and pouring your soul into it. You lost your mojo and overall desire to continue walking that same path. Or maybe the reason you need a fresh start is because your current relationship with your significant other has dried up and turned sour. You no longer want to be with her and dread having to deal with the uncomfortable undercurrent that now marks your time together. Whether you're ready to throw in the towel due to irreconcilable differences or crave to reignite your passion with her, you know something needs to change. And you'll need to take that leap towards something greater and more deserving for both of you. Regardless of why you need a fresh start, when you do make that move to change things, you give yourself permission to wipe the slate clean and get a brand new chance to get yourself on a better track. If you feel like you need a fresh start in any area of your life, I'm going to share a few ways to help you kickstart your plan into motion. Know your why. For something to stick, you need to understand the reason you're doing it in the first place. That reason must be strong and deeply rooted in something important to you for it to be the catalyst to change that it needs to be to sustain your new journey. Without a strong why, you risk losing yourself in the challenges that often accompany change. The more you can get behind a sense of purpose and mission, the more you strive to see your why to completion. Be willing to get uncomfortable. The only way you're going to grow beyond your current situation is if you're willing to step outside the boundaries you've previously set. Anytime you walk past the known and into the unknown, you're going to feel unsettled. As you should, because otherwise you'd be settled and rooted in the way everything is right now. Understand that everything is temporary. Even the discomfort you may experience when you travel into unknown territory, where up feels like down and front feels like back. Embrace the uneasiness, and you'll soon find comfort with it. Find supporters. The last thing you need when making a change, whether it be a small or a huge change, is someone naysaying your decision. It's one thing to seek wise, unbiased, objective counsel, to understand as many of the facts surrounding your decision, and quite another to be derailed by someone who's doling out advice from an ignorant or fearful position. If you're truly serious about making a change, surround yourself with people who will encourage healthy analysis over it. Accept change. Sometimes we are forced to make a fresh start, whether we're open to it or not. Maybe you've been fired, laid off, rejected, or tossed out of something. That kind of sudden dramatic shift in your life can wreak havoc on your stress levels and have you feeling like you're drowning. It can be difficult to surface after such a defeat and carry on toward a new path, especially because you didn't choose to be thrown off the one you were on. Life is full of change. It happens all the time. It's a matter of life and will always be present. The more you resist the change, the more it will negatively affect you and block you from the pleasure and the gift of new opportunities. Accept change as a matter of the human experience, and you will set yourself up for greater outcomes. Take a small risk. Taking that first step toward your leap to a fresh start can be intimidating. The unknown carries a lot of risk that you can't plan for. Risk is a very scary thing, as well as a necessary thing you'll encounter along the journey of your fresh start. The best way to confront a fear is to face it. Take a small risk, doing something that scares you a little bit. Maybe that's giving a speech, running a race, facing an old enemy, trying something new. By taking that small risk, you boost your confidence and trust in yourself that you can do anything you set your mind to. This will make the bigger risks a little less intimidating because you'll come out on the other end realizing you're more capable of taking chances and succeeding on the other side of them than you ever thought possible. Make peace with the past. This is one that can't be stressed enough. If you're going to make a fresh start, you need to clean your slate. You can't carry the burden from the past with you on this new journey for it to truly be a fresh start. You need to leave the baggage behind and walk along the path with nothing that will weigh you down or block your journey. Let go of the negativity and move forward with light in your heart. You can't move forward if you're weighed down with a heavy heart. Interview yourself. This may feel hokey to some of you, but if you stick with me on this, I promise it'll have significant impact on your journey. Imagine you're being interviewed by someone a year from now, after you've made your fresh start. Be the interviewer and ask yourself questions like, what was it like to make the change? How has it improved your life? What challenges did you face and how did you overcome them? If you were to do it all over again, would you? And why or why not? By running through this exercise, you are thinking things through on a level that is objective and potentially thorough if you ask these kinds of thought-provoking, self-analysis questions. You'll consider many angles of your fresh start before venturing on it. You'll think about potential challenges and your coping mechanisms in the face of them. Make a plan and stick to it. The last and most important part of the process of making a fresh start is making a plan and sticking to it. You must take action for anything to happen. So carefully consider your plan, the steps involved, the challenges you may encounter, and how you will deal with them. And then set up goals to address your plan. Write them out and stick to them, one by one. Plan the plan and run with it. A successful fresh start requires a clear and positive mindset. Seek to improve, and you'll soon find yourself on a better path. Go about a fresh start with high spirits and gratitude, and you can only bring more value to your life and the lives of others. Before you take that leap, center yourself and make sure you are making a change for the right reasons. Leave the past behind with a joy for what's in front and not a bitterness for what you left behind. When you pursue a fresh start in this manner, you set yourself up for a future full of amazing possibilities.